Steve Jones here with the Hardscape channel and a good friend and an industry icon, Bill Schneider. Bill.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, really glad to have you. It's good to see you as always whenever we get together. Doesn't seem to be very often anymore.
No, I know.
But
we don't travel together as much as we used to.
No. You know, I've been doing a fair number of interviews here at the Interlocking Concrete Pavement Institute's annual meeting here in Orlando. And just about every person I've interviewed relates their history with you and because of you and the mentorship that you've provided to so many in our industry. You know, it's refreshing and scary at the same time. The amount of influence and help that you've provided to literally anybody who's ever asked.
Yeah, that's my goal, is to try to make this industry grow the right way it should grow, which it didn't do. It was in the early stages, and then it went the wrong way for a long time, and now they're talking about going back to doing the commercial business again. So.
Well, at least you got them on track that way finally.
Yeah.
But Bill, what would you know, as a guy who started out stealing his own pavers in front of his own house to lay a job years ago? I remember the story you've told me, and Alice, your wife, has also bemoaned that little issue. What could you tell the contractors out there today that are doing hardscapes? What is the most important thing that they should consider? I mean, I don't care if it's equipment or technique or education or business planning and stuff. What would be the main focus, the one thing that you could tell them to do?
Well, the main thing that contractors have to learn to do, and especially if they're going to do commercial work, they have to learn to be businessmen, not just paver installers or construction people. They need to learn to run a business. They need to learn to do estimates. They need to learn to do budgets. They need to do all of these things to survive. And here again, it's no different when so many people underbid our companies on a regular basis. They just find out what our price is and they lower it. And the biggest problem with that is they end up losing money, and probably and when we're underbid every year, at least 50 to 60% of those people go broke by the end of the year.
Well, and that's a sad thing. I think we've talked about it many times in our own little get-togethers, and we talk about the life cycle of a young contractor in the hardscape business. And they all start out with some money from their folks or something they've saved or some financing. They buy all their equipment. They push and push and push, and all they really end up doing to get work is bidding it too low because they don't know better, and squeezing the equity out of the equipment they've purchased.
Right. And
that typically, we've learned that life cycle is about a 3-year life cycle, and then poof, they're gone. And in the meantime, we've lost somebody who was first passionate to join our industry, and sadly, they probably won't come back.
No, well, a lot of them, after they go broke once or twice, they're not going to come back into it. And a lot of those guys just end up taking jobs with other people and just becoming workers. But the key factor to this industry, and I was so blessed with the fact that I was recommended my second year that I was doing pavers, and I was the first paver installer, I was recommended to talk to a consultant.
Well, Bill,
and at first I didn't agree with that, but when I met with him a couple of times, he gave me some input that got me moving in the right direction, and basically the main reason I've succeeded in this business is because I know how to run a business, not how to, yes, I know how to do a job, I know how to do a job very well, but I know how to run a business, and I know how to estimate work, and especially commercially. That you have to know how to estimate, not just do a job.
Well, Bill, I want to focus on that point, but what I'm going to do is we're going to do that, we're going to stop this interview, and I want to bring this next interview forward, and we'll talk specifically about that part of your business that allowed you to be what you are today. Mm-hmm. So, Bill, thank you so much for coming today. We're signing off right now, but we'll be back in just a moment for the second interview.